All right, guys. So section 2.2 is on point slope, which is form of a line, which is basically another way of writing an equation and transferring it, moving it around from slope intercept form. So equation you need to memorize for point slope form of a line is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So as always, what does m represent? It's my slope. Okay, the steepness of a line, the slope. That doesn't really change. Okay, what does change here, the y1 represents a y point in the line, the y coordinate of a line. Sorry, to try that again. The coordinate, the y1 represents the y coordinate of a point. Sorry. And then the x1 is the x coordinate of a point. Okay, so it says down here, write equations in a point slope form. Well, remember, I always like to write down the equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Yes, you'll need to memorize that. So it says a line goes through the points 2, 3, and has a slope of 8. So remember, your 2 is always the x. That's the first coordinate. The 3 in this case is my y. Are you ready for this? Equation in point slope form will be y minus y1. Well, my y coordinate was 3. So y minus 3 equals, my slope was 8. So we're literally just plugging in points. X minus x1, which was 2. So we're really just moving around our equation to help us out. And we'll go over why this is going to help us out here later in this chapter. Now it says the line goes through 5, 6, and 6, 7. They want us to write it, I'm assuming, in point slope form. So remember here, it's going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, look, we don't have my slope. We have to find it. So remember, to find the slope from 2 points, you subtract your y's. So we're going to have 7 minus 6. Slope is 7 minus 6 because y minus y over 6 minus 5. So my slope, 7 minus 6 is 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. My slope is 1. Ms. Swiderski, does it really matter which point I use for point slope form? No, you get to choose. So I'm going to do both. The first answer I would accept would be y minus y1, which is 6, equals my slope of 1 times x minus x1, which was 5. The second answer I would accept would be y minus y1, which is 7, equals my slope of 1 times x minus x1, which was 6. All right. Number 3, a line goes through -1, -2, and has a slope of 3/4. Let's write it in point slope form. So again, we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. They're going to try and trick you here. Because remember, -1 would be my x point, -2 is my y. Watch what happens. Y minus y1. Well, what was y1? -2. We have a double negative there. Equals my slope of 3/4 times x minus x1. Again, a double negative. So double negative becomes positive. We get y plus 2 equals 3/4 times x plus 1. Because again, that double negative there becomes a positive. Okay, I'm going to have you try number 4 on your own. Remember, you're going to find your slope, and then there's going to be 2 correct answers for this one. So see if you can come up with both of the answers for number 4. All right, graphing point slope form down below. For this one down below, it says y minus 5 equals 2 times x plus 1. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can do this. When you look at this, I know my equation for point slope form was y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, which means in here, my coordinate would be, my y1 is -5, so minus 5. So that means 5, because the opposite of -5 is 5. Y minus y1, sorry, it's going to be +5, my bad. And then my x would be -1, right? Because it's y minus y1. Okay, so if I make that a point, -1, 5. Up here, my slope, there's my point, right? Because it's point slope, so I found my point. Now, what would my slope be? Yeah, my slope is 2/1. So from this point, I'm going up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, or from that original point of negative 1, 5, I'm going down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1. I'm going to graph, and I'm good to go. Now, some students last year wanted to move this into slope-intercept form. You can do that as well, but this is point-slope form. So all you really have to do is find your point and the slope. Now watch what happens. If you were to distribute, you would get y minus 5 equals 2x plus 2. I can add my 5 to both sides, and look what happens. I get y equals 2x plus 7. That's slope-intercept form. So we're really going to be talking about how we can move some of these equations around to help us out with graphing. Some people prefer slope-intercept form. Some prefer point-slope form. It's important for you to know both methods. Okay, let's talk about number 2. What is my point going to be? Well, we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Easiest thing for me to see in here is my slope. My slope is negative 1/4. My point, we're going to have an x and we're going to have a y. Y minus y1. Well, that means my y1 is going to have to be negative 3 because it's the opposite of my sign, right? And then we have x minus x1. So it's going to be the opposite of that, which is 7. Okay, go ahead and graph this point. So I go over 1, down 7, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. All right, I'm going down 1 to the right 4. So down 1 over 4. Down 1 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or up 1 to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1 to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect my dots. And there is my answer. Okay, hopefully your dots and your lines a little straighter than mine. I did my best because I'm on my screen. Okay, down below it says at Five Below, 3 rulers were $3.18 last year. This year, 5 rulers are $6.24. If this trend continues, how much will 4 rulers cost next year? So, hint, look at 2 points. So we need to find the 2 coordinates and then find our slope. So 3 rulers was 318. Okay, this year 5 rulers is 624. If this trend continues, how much will 4 rulers cost next year? So what I can do here is find the slope. So when I do that, I'm going to do it in my calculator. Subtract your y's, right? So we have 624 minus 318 up top. And then, so y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So we have 5 minus 3 down below. 2. So 624 minus 318 is going to give me 624 minus 318 is going to give me 3.06 over 2, which means it was $3.06 for 2. So I want to figure out how much is in 1. 3.06 divided by 2, $1.53 per year. So I want to multiply that by 4. So after 4 years, the cost was $6.12. Okay. Number 2, it says after my 2 weeks of working out, I lost 12 pounds. So after 2 weeks, lost 12 pounds. After 6 weeks, I lost 48 pounds. After my 10th week of working out, how many pounds have I lost? I want you guys to solve that one on your own. This is part 1 of 2.2.